In this video, we're going to talk about graphics and visual elements that you can put in, you can use in your websites on your web pages. Now, this is in chapter 4 in your book, cover chapter 4 in your book. I have files already made, and the images that we're going to use for this video, I have it already on D2L. So if you go to the content section in D2L and go down to the chapter 4 which says visual elements and graphics, I have a section called files from video lecture video. These are all the files that you're going to need for this particular video. So this includes the HTML file, or the chapter 4.html file that we're going to use for our coding, and you have the rest of these are image files that we're going to use to put in our web page. Okay, so I have all these files already downloaded, so they're already on my folder, or on my computer in my folder. Now for today, because there are some elements or visual elements that Internet Explorer does not either pick up or they do not display very well. So we're going to use Google Chrome today in this video. In another video, separate video, I showed you how you can download Google Chrome Portable from the iDrive that I have in my folder as well. And if you do not have Google Chrome on your computer at home, you can go to Google's website or Google Chrome's website and download it and install it on your computer for free. Okay, so let me go ahead and go to my folder. Yeah, it's demo folder. Right there. Yeah, so I have my chapter 4.html file, and I have my images that I'm going to use. So all these are images. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my chapter 4.html file. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to double click on it. There you go. Yeah, and also with Google Chrome, they just it does not have a open command that you can see. So how we would go into Google, go into Internet Explorer, go to File, go to Open. It does not have that feature. So if you want to get that open dialog box that we're seeing in Internet Explorer, you're going to have to press the control key on your keyboard and also the letter O. Push those two together and you will get the open dialog box that we're used to receiving. And you can also open up your file that way. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So it's okay, yeah, so we got a title in there, some information about fidget spinners, material, and also a hyperlink that actually links back to the fidget spinner page on Wikipedia. Okay, so it's simple stuff. So yeah, so stuff we've done before. Alright, so the first thing the book covers, it covers the horizontal rule tag. And what this does is it gives the effect of splitting the web page in different sections or in half. It's a little border. It basically puts a border bar right across your screen. So I was thinking for today, for this file, we can actually put a horizontal rule right here in between, right before materials, and also put one right before learn more at in our file. Yeah, something we'll put two in there today. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and open up my chapter 4.html file in Notepad. So right click on mine and go to open with. Like I said, depending on what your how your computer is, you may have to actually go and tell it to choose another app to get the notepad option, or you can come here and search for it under uh, applications and actually open it from there. And there it is. Right. Yeah. So here it is. Yeah. Okay. So with the horizontal rule tag, it's just basically one tag, just like we have for our line break tag, the BR tag. We have it's a very similar tag for the horizontal rule tag. And so I am going to, so right here, like I said, I was going to put it right before materials, which is my H3 tag materials. And I was also going to put it over right up before my H4 tag that has learn more at. So I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to put in my HR tag. And this is the tag that gives us our horizontal rule. So I have mine right there. And also I'm going to put one right before my H4 tag here. I keep going to put H4. I don't know why. Okay. So now we have a horizontal rule right before our H3 tag for materials. And we also have one that's right above our H4 tag for learn more at. So let's save this file, our code that we just edited, and let's go back to Google Chrome. Now in Google Chrome, they call their refresh button reload. So, and it's just the same icon that you'll see in Internet Explorer, but it's just named something differently. So I'll go ahead and hit my reload button, and there you go. So so these lines here are my horizontal rule lines. And like I said, like I mentioned, it gives the effect as if the page is split up into multiple parts. Yeah, alright. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, and that your book talks about, is actually putting in a background image. Now your background image, you can we're going to using CSS. We talked about doing background colors before in chapter 3, but now we're going to take it up a level a little bit and actually put in the image. So I'm going to go here to my code, and because we are dealing with, we're going to make CSS, remember we have to put the style tag inside of our head tag. So I have a head tag here, we have them right here, and I'm going to put my style tag right in between my head tag, or you can put it right below right here, the title tag that we have here, like I have it down right here. Alright, nice. Okay, now because we want to use a background image for the whole entire page, we are going to use the selector body, because we had to remember we had to use body, the body selector, when we went to do the background color in chapter 3. So we're going to do the same thing. We'll use our body selector. Body, put in my curly braces. Yeah, okay. Now, just like in chapter 3, we had background color for the background. For the image, we have to use background image, the CSS property. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in background image dash image hyphen image. Now because we have to tell it what file that what image we want to use as our background, we're going to have to use the declaration. Declaration, but yeah, okay, say declaration attribute. I guess it'd be a better way of saying it. Of URL. and with parentheses, right? And so the URL is going to you're going to tell the web browser where to get this image from to put as the background. So you're going to in between the parentheses. This is where you're going to put the name of your the file name for your image. So I'm going to see. So I'm going to go back to my folder here and see what image I'm going to use. Yeah, these are all the images that you guys downloaded from the D12, and I'll probably end up using this one. All right, yeah. So I have my file name fidget, and over here on the side I have JPG, and that right there is the file extension. So it's going to be fidget dot ph dot jpg. There you go. Dot jpg is what I'm going to put in those parentheses for my. Let me put it halfway. Yeah, so I can actually see it. So right here in between my parentheses, I'm going to put in the file name fidget dot, and we said it was a JPEG file, so it'll be JPG, and we're going to close it out with our semicolon. And I'm thinking that the image, but remember by default, text color is, yeah, by default, the text color is black. So because this has a dark background, this is going to be a dark background on it. We may have to change, and we probably will have to change the text color of the body text color. So while we're here, let's go ahead and change the color of the text to, let's do white. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna have this image right here in the background with white text over it. Okay, let's save this. And let me bring it up into Internet Explorer, into Google Chrome. Let me reload. Haha, there you go. Yeah, so I was right. Yeah, so because I was thinking this right here, we won't be able to see it if it was black. You won't be able to see the writing on it or the text on it. Okay, yeah. So that's cool. Make it a little bit, make it a little bit bigger than we could. So what we can do, and remember, we actually play with the font size in chapter 3, as well as other additional CSS properties you can use to manipulate the text. So I'm going to, so you can see that, bring the text out just a little bit more. I'm going to change the font size to, let's see, 14 point. And I'm going to put, I'll make it a little bit bold. So I'm going to put some weight to it. So give the looked at it if all of the text is bold a little bit. So font weight is actually font weight. And font weight is going to be, and the font weight has to be done in pixels. So I'm gonna say 10 pixels. I'm gonna put 10. I'm gonna put 10. Well, will 10 work? You may have to do as 100. I think it goes by increments of 100. Let's put 100. I think it goes by the values for font weight. I believe goes by 100s, increments of 100. So I'm going to put my semicolon, and I'm going to save it one more time, and I want to bring it into my Chrome. Okay. Yeah, so I could say it did make it bigger. Yeah, it does make it a little bit bigger. And like it actually did put a little, it made it bigger, but I don't think it put any weight to it. It makes it easier to see. Let me go back to my. Alright. So, so I'm going to try, because I was actually just looking in the book, and I think it's just gold or bold. Yeah, I almost was certain that you can actually add numbers because bold is not going to give you. You can actually add. Um, oh, that's something. I'm thinking about something else. I think I am thinking about something else. Let me see. That's bold, yeah. To make it see a little bit better. But I thought there's a way you can actually, using font weight, you can actually make the change to how bold the text can be. Right, so we have our bold. Okay, so now you can see the text a little bit better. Alright, so next thing we're going to do is we are going to let me, you notice because our with images, yeah, let me go back and real quick. With images, you notice that it's repeating. It's the same image over and over again because it has to fill up the whole entire screen. Now, the reason why it keeps repeating is because our image is not big enough to fill the whole screen all at once. So it actually repeats it multiple times. What we'll have to do, you can make it so where it does not repeat, and with the CSS property, background repeat, or you can also just get one image that's big enough to fill the whole screen, and you'll just have the image just once. And that's what a lot of people do. Alright. Right, so the next thing I want to do is I want to insert an image, and we can actually put some borders and stuff around it. See where we're going to put it. So I'm looking on my screen here. Um, let's do it after the paragraph. Yeah. Let's put it up in this area, right? Let's put it up in this area. Let's put the picture up in this area. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and split my screen so it makes them easier to see. Alright. So I'm getting it now they switched over. Alright, so I'm going to put, so I'm going to put it right here. So I'm going to put it right after my H2 tag. Right after my H2, I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to put my image right here. It's going to be right in front of my, or yeah, right above or right in front of my P tag that starts from paragraph. Okay. Alright, so for the image, to actually insert an image inside of your web page, you have to use the image tag. The image tag does not have a ending tag like we are used to. It just has the closing bracket. So it's going to be, so the first thing you have is image, the word image, or img for image. Then you have to tell it what the image is going to be. So you use src for source, and so it's going to be equal to, and in quotation marks, it's going to be just like it's going to be the file name for your picture. It's just like we had to use for our hyperlinks and the anchor tag. We had to, in quotation marks, we had to tell it where we want the website, where we want the link to go. It's the exact same concept. So we have, let me see what image we're going to put here. Yeah, so I'll move back over. So here I'm in my, let me see, looking at that gummy bear one. We can probably actually put that one. What this one is. Yeah, let's put this one. Yeah. And yeah, there it is. Yeah, so it tells me the name of it, and also where it says item type, it tells me the file extension or the file name, the file type. So this is a JPEG. So my file extension is going to be JPG. All right. So let me go back and get what was the name of the file again? All right. There you go. I can see it now. And it has to be, it is case sensitive, so you have to put it in the exact way that it is called in your folder. So fidget spinner dot jpg. Yeah, so and the file name goes inside of the quotation marks after the source inside your image file. Right now, the next thing you have to put, and this is now a requirement. I believe I mentioned, I think the first video, that you have to talk about accessibility. One of the things with one of the things with accessibility is that you have to tell you have to tell the device, whether it be a screen reader or maybe some like a magnifier, screen magnifier. You have to tell it what the image is, or what give a brief description of what the image is, so just in case the image does not show up, if it's too big for the screen, it can actually tell the person or tell the other person what this image is supposed to be. So this is what they call alternative text or alt text. And so after your quotation mark, your ending quotation mark for your source name, you're going to put in ALT for alternative text. All right, and this is where, and it can be whatever you want as long as the text is there. So we can say alternative text is going to be group of let's see, fidget spinners. All right, yeah. And so I have my alternative text group of fidget spinners. Now in your book, it shows you and it tells you that you can also put in the height and the width inside of this tag as well. You can do so, but now everybody uses or it's standard and recommended that you use the image height and width inside the CSS file or inside the CSS. So I'm going to go ahead and close mine out. Let me separate it a little bit so I can see a little bit better. Yeah, so this is my image file. Let me maximize it. Yeah, there it is. So this is my image file or my image. So I have my IMG tag, the source attribute telling me what the name of the file is, then what's the name of the image file, and also my alternative text telling giving a brief description of what it this picture looks like or what it's supposed to be. All right. Am I forgetting anything else? Oh, remember when you do this, make sure that in order for the image to show up, it has to be in the exact same location as your HTML file. If it is not in there, it will not work. Okay. So now that we have our image in here, let's go ahead. Let's save this and let's bring it up into Google Chrome. Max that up too. Oh my goodness. You see, it's just a little big. Alright. So we're gonna have to resize this, which is no problem. Um First thing we have to do in order for us to resize it, we have to find out how big the picture is. So let me go back to my File Explorer. Alright. And I'm going to And I'm going to right click on my image, and I'm going to go down to properties. And under properties, if you go to the details tab, it tells you how big that image is. It tells you how many pixels. So it's 1600 height and 1600 width. Right. So yeah, I'm gonna have to just make it down just a little bit. Right. So how I do this is I go by I half the pixels when I go to size an image. I actually make it. I go by twos. So the first part I'll go by. So right now I half it. So right now it's 1600. I'd go 800 pixels, and we'll see how big that is. If I need to go a little bit smaller, then I'll go by twos, as so forth. So it's 1600. So 1600 divided by two is, we say, 800 pixels. So I'm going to come back here to my code, and up here at the top in our CSS, because we're dealing with our IMG file, our IMG or IMG tag, IMG is going to be our selector. So anything we do to the put in the IMG style, it's going to apply to all of the images that we put our on our page that has the IMG tag on it. So yeah, so I need to do height equals no height. Should be 800 pixels, because remember it was 1600. I'm going by half. 800 pixels. And I still think they may be a little big. Let's see how that looks. I just saved it. Go to Google Chrome. Yeah, and that's still a little big, so I'm actually make it a little bit smaller. So I'm gonna do 400. So 400 pixels. Right. So change it. Right now it's 800. At 800, change it to 400. And I'm just resizing my image on my web page to make sure it actually it looks a somewhat reasonable shape. Um, I can actually make that a little bit smaller too. Yeah, I'm make it a little bit smaller. So I'm gonna bring it down to 200 pixels. And sometimes you may just have to play with the image to see if you can get it to where you want it. Okay, yeah, that's actually about right. That's about the size it probably needs to be. Because I'll make it too. If you make it smaller, it's gonna be too small. Also, dealing with size, um, you may have you can change the size of an image. You can make a large file smaller, well, you can't make a small file large. If you try to stretch a small file to a small image to something bigger than it's not supposed to be, it will make the picture look a little blurry. Sometimes it'll even be a little pixelated, and I like to call that image stretch marks, because you're stretching the image out too much, and that you start to see the stretching of the actual pixels on the in the image. So we don't want in the image stretch marks. So you can always get a really big file, a really big image, and just change and make it smaller. But you can't do the reverse. You can't make a small file or small image larger. Okay, so we got a picture on there. All right. So you in CSS you can add uh, visual effects to your picture. So you can actually add a border to it, different types of borders. You can actually add a border shadow to it. There's a lot of things you can do um, to make to change the appearance of your or doll up your image. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna actually take we're gonna put a border around this image. Um, I like using a dash border. You're on your let me close you out. Thank you. Yeah, on page or starting on page 138 in your book, it's a table 4-1. It has a table of all of the CSS properties that deal with not say, I would say all of them, but a lot of the CSS properties that you can use so you can actually manipulate your images. So we're going to use the border one right now. So I want to go to back my code here, and inside of my image, because we are messing with still messing with the image, I'm going to put a border around my image. Yeah, so right underneath my height um, property or my height, I'm going to put in border. And here you put in how big you want your border to be. So I want my border to be, let's say 5 pixels. I want border to be 5 pixels. Oops. And I'm going to use border style. And my border style allows you to actually change the appearance of the border. So if you want to make it dash, solid, you want to give it like the raised, the rigid look, you can do that as well. I like doing dashed. It gives it that coupon look. Let's see what else. Border. You can also change the color of it as well. Because since by default, the default color for everything in HTML is black. So because our text is white, let's go ahead and change the border color to white. Yeah. Alright, so now let's go ahead. Now we have our border settings for our image. Now let's go ahead, already in place. Let's go ahead and save our file. And let's reload it. Ha 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 ha. Nice. Alright, yeah. Alright. So you see a little bit, you see it's nice. It's right snug. It's right snug right around the image. Well, if you want to actually put some space in between the image and the border, you can do that. And that is a CSS property called padding, because you're basically going to add the padding or add padding the to the content or to the border. So to add my padding, I'm going to go back here. Yeah, I'm going to go back to my code here. Yeah, and I'm going to put the CSS property of padding. All right, and for padding, you can either do it by percent, by EM, or you can also do it by pixels. I like doing it by pixels. So I have a 5. I'm gonna do. Let's do 15 pixels. 15 pixels for my padding, and so it should give me a nice, white space or space in between my border and my image. Okay, let's see about that. Oh, nice. Yeah, so see now you can actually see the space, yeah, in between my image. Like I said, it gives like look the coupon feel, like you actually cut down a coupon. All right. Let's see what else we can do with this thing. Right. Yeah. So like I said, if you look on the table 4.1 on page 138, it has a lots of other CSS properties you can use to use and add to your images and your images. So it's actually really cool. A lot of stuff we won't actually talk about, talk about, but you can experiment with it on your own. And if you need any help, yeah, just let me know, and we can I can help you with it. All right, let's see what else we can do. Going through your chapter, make sure you read the material that talks about the different image font types of graphics. Like know what it means by GIF, what a GIF is, what a JPEG is, what a PNG file is. So I review that material because I want to try to keep this video as short as possible. So go ahead, please view that material in your book. Next thing we're going to do is, okay, now we have played with inserting an image into our web page. Now let's make a image hyperlink. So we played with hyperlinks a little in, I believe it was it chapter 2, I think it was. In chapter 2, now we can actually play with hyperlinks. We can, instead of actually putting words for the person to click on, we can now put in an image and have the person click on the image. Yeah, so let's so for when we do this, let's actually get some more of those images that we were playing with. Well, I'll take that back. I'll take that back. Instead of using some of the other images, because I'm going to actually use that for something else, those images for something else a little bit later. Let's add the hyperlink to the image that we already have here. Alright, so, yeah. Alright, so maybe cool. So we'll come down here. So here it is. Alright, so the image hyperlink is the exact same concept and uses the exact same code as the text hyperlink. The only difference is that on that second part, remember, because it's anchor tag or hyperlink tag is split into two parts. The first part has the destination or where you want the link to go, and the second part has the information or the text or image in this particular case of what you want the person to see or what you want them to click on to actually get to that destination. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we have to use an anchor tag. Alright, so I'm going to put my anchor tag over here. So I have my anchor tag, my href equals, and obviously after our href, we have to put, this is where we'll put in our link for our destination link. So let's go ahead and say, yeah, let's go ahead and put in Google. Let's put in our favorite. Alright. Alright. So in the first part, all you need to do for the first part is just put in your href, the name or the address to where you want the link to go, and you'll close it out with your angle bracket. Alright. Now the second part, like I said, this is the part or the content where you want the person to see when they go to click on the link. So when we're dealing with text links, we would actually just type in the text right here at this particular point. But because we're using an image, we're going to use the image tag right here as our part to click on. Because remember that this line of code here actually tells us, basically it shows the image. And so I have my image line right here, and I'm going to close it with my ending anchor tag. So now I have my hyperlink, image hyperlink. Like I said, I have the first part, I have my href with my address to where I want the link to go. And the second part, instead of putting text, you just put in the code for the image, and you'll close it out. Okay, so if I were to, I'll go ahead and click on, so I'll go to save this right now. Go to Internet Explorer, go to Chrome, because that's what we're using today. There you go. And now, when I put my cursor over my image, now you see my image, my cursor changes to a hand, which allows me to actually click on it, and I can go to the destination website, which is Google in this particular case. So that is how you do a image hyperlink. I do know we had a few of you guys had some issues with hyperlinks in some of the past homework. Like I said, if you need some more information or you need some help with it, just let me know, and if I can help you with it, then no problem. Okay, so one thing with some of the HTML5, I mentioned some of the HTML5 elements that that they have for images, and it's probably maybe images and visual elements is probably the biggest part that CSS3 and HTML5 part contributed to. Um, they introduce in HTML5 they introduce what they call figure the figure tag and the figure caption tag. And what this does, it allows you to put images onto a web page, but also give it the look and feel as if you were looking at um, a figure or image. You were looking through something in a book. Just like you have your text when you have figure 4-9, 4-8, you can get that same effect by using the figure tag in HTML. Right, so now we can actually put in our other images. All right. Let's go back and see what images we have. Yes, we can use that one. Use this one, the focus one. Use the gummy bear one. And spinner 8. Okay, so we can use those. Okay. So how we do this, I'm gonna go side by side now, so I can get my names for my images. Is we're gonna come down here inside of our HTML, and I did put a comment. There it is. I put a comment right here saying, okay, this is where the different types of fidget spinners are gonna go. So this is where I'm going to put the images of my different fidget spinners. Right, so right here, so right below, right after my comment, and also right before my HR tag, this is where I'm going to put my figure tags for my fidget spinners, my different fidget spinner images. So to use the figure tag, it's just the word figure. So let's see, figure, and you also have the closing tag for figure. And inside of figure, this is where you will put your image tag. So you can actually tell the web browser, okay, this is an image. This is the figure, and this is the figure that is going to be the image, or this is the image that's going to be the figure. There you go. Get a little confused there. All right. So let's see which one I can put first. IMG. Yeah, since I'll put them in order. Yeah. HRC. Oops. I'm going to copy that. So that's my Batman one. Let me see what kind of file that was. JPEG. It's a JPEG file, and it's actually, if you look at the dimensions of it, it's actually not those are in pixels, so it's actually that's actually not too large. That's actually pretty good size. So dot JPG. Okay, oops. So that's my first image. Okay. Now after your image tag, while you're still inside of the figure tag, this is where you will put your figure caption tag or your figure caption. Instead of spelling it all out, they actually give you, they actually just shorten it up for you. So it'll be fig caption, and this has the ending tag on it as well. Right, and right here, in between the fig caption tags, this is where you will put the caption that you want to be shown right underneath the image. So I'm going to say Batman, Batman fidget spinner. And if you want to, you can actually put additional. Um, if you want to put an H3 tag on there, you can put an H3 tag on. If you want to put ads, have some other type of formatting on your caption, you can do that as well. But you just do it straight through CSS. It's like a Batman fidget spinner. All right. So let's see. Now, so I have so that's looking. Let's see how that figure actually came up. Let me actually put you back up there, so make it a little bit easier to see. Yeah. So this is my code right here. So I have my figure. I have my image code or image with the oh, guess what I forgot to do? I forgot to put my alt tag. You have to put the alt attribute now, because if you try to send it through the validator, it will pop back an error saying that you need to have one. So I'm just going to copy my caption that I have here, and I'm going to put it as my alt tag, or as my alt attribute. Right. So they have my image, I have my caption for my figure, and I'll close my figure out. So do save. And I'll bring you up. Nice. Alright, so here you go. So down here at the bottom. And you see it looks kind of weird. That's because, and also see it has my border on there as well. That's because you are dealing with because we're dealing with the cascading style sheet, or the cascading effect. At the top here, in my CSS, in my code, I have that style associated with the IMG tag, the IMG tag. Well, anytime I use an IMG tag in my code down here at the bottom in my HTML, it's going to apply that style to it. So that's what it did. It applied the border to, applied the border, applied the padding to the border, as well as the height and width of it. So that's why it looks a little weird, because this right here is it's not proportionate. It's not what they call the aspect ratio, or it's not proportionate to the size that we gave it up here at the top. So if you want to change that, I have to find out what it is first. You can actually come here. Well, you can actually put an ID on it. That might be the simplest way. You actually do figure ID, just like we did with our divs in chapter 3, and I'm gonna call this Batman. All right, and now I can go up there to the top. Did I put thing on there? Yeah, I did that. I was just making sure I put quotation marks around it. And I can come back up here and make a style just for that Batman ID or that Batman figure that's in that figure tag. So I can remember how to do my pound tag or my pound sign. Type in Batman because that is the name of, and that's the name of my ID, that section. And let me see what the size of that thing was. You might have to also put some inheritance on there or some descendants on there, and you may have to put ing on there too, because we're inside of the figure, the figure tag that is ing that has the figure tag of Batman, and inside of that Batman figure, you have the tag, the img tag that we want to apply our style to. So that's why we have both of those up there. So what's the height and the width of that image? Let me check and see. Actually, that's right there. I just saw it. 570 by 444. All right. So with 570 pixels and height is 444. All right, and we can put a border around it. Yeah, we can put a border around it. We can put, just put maybe a three pixel border around it. And let's put padding. And say 5 yeah. So we don't want to have the padding too have to be too far away from the image. All right. Now let's save that and let's see what we come up with. Okay, so we brought it back to its original size. But where's our border? Mm-hmm. We didn't change. Ooh, we didn't change the border. No, it still should have been in there. We didn't change the border color. Let's change the border color to black. Okay, where is? Okay, maybe they want us to put it around the. What's that? Batman ing. Maybe they want us to put it behind maybe the figure, because maybe it doesn't like us trying to jump 2 levels. And I went right back. Let's try. This may not work, but we'll see. Yeah, I added the after the figure, with our Batman, I add the figure tag, and then to the figure I added the ing because it actually goes down the levels. So because you have the, well, you shouldn't even have to worry about the figure because this right here is already on the figure. It's already on the figure tag, so you shouldn't have to worry about the figure part. Let me see. And how come it does not work? So that's the original size of it. But I'm trying to see how come the padding, the board's not coming up. There's supposed to be a black border around it. Make it a little bit smaller. Because I don't think it's hiding behind it. It should be right around it. Okay, so let's try this. Let's actually get rid of all that and just say figure. Yeah, figure, probably just step figure tag and see if it'll do it for us. And then we still have that image. We don't want that, our image stuff on there. See? Okay. Let's try that. Image. And just gets rid of it. Interesting. Anything I'm missing, guys? Anything at all? Okay. I'm gonna have to go back to that one. Yeah, put my brain on that one. How come it's not coming up? Okay, let me try something here. I want to come down here to my fidget spinner, my Batman fidget spinner image right here, and I'm gonna add an ID. You can add an ID to just about any, as an attribute, just about any tag, and I'm gonna call that Batman. I'm gonna take this ID out, and I want to come back up here. Now that I took the ID off, I'm going to change that to Batman. Let's see. No. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Alright, so I just change it back to the figure. And we'll just have to keep our background in there. We'll just have to keep that in there. It's fine. Be that way. Alright. Now, we can add our additional images. Alright, so I'm going to actually split my screen. No, split my screen with here. So I can now I'm able to see my file names. And I'm able to put in my figures down here at the bottom. So this is one figure. And I'm going to have another figure. Let's find out which one. I did this one. I did that one. They did do that one. What file extension was that one? JPEG, yeah, JPEG. Put my alt on there, and you put quotation marks around it. copy the caption. Yes, it. Focus 5 16. I'm gonna see what that is. Let's put that caption on there. Alright. Now I'm gonna go ahead put in the rest of mine. Gummy bear. And I think that's a JPG as well. I believe it's a JPEG file. Yes, a JPEG. My thing down there. Alright. See this one? Yeah, do that one. Yeah. At the same time, I'll copy and paste this in here. And just save. Instead of copying all that in, I'm just gonna go ahead and just put that stuff in here. Just replace that stuff. And this is Legos. Alright. Alright, now we have all that in there. Alright, now let's save it. Let's see what we get. So I just saved it. I'm going to load it into. I'm going to load it to Internet Explorer, or not Internet Explorer, Google Chrome today. There we go. Yeah, you see right there. Let's see right below it. Right. See, we got our images on there, but you see, is the board is kind of, hiding, the captions over there. All right. So what we may have to do is we'll have to come back up here on our CSS up here, and probably take off probably change our padding, probably make it 5 maybe. Alright. You save. Okay. That makes a lot better. Now if I come down here, let me see. Yeah, so it's right below. And also, if you want to do a little bit, you can actually cheat it a little bit. And I don't know if we talked about it, but margin. We can actually tell it to add a margin to it. And just like you have a margin in Microsoft Word around your that a 1 inch margin around your paper, it gives the image the exact same effect. So, because I don't think we actually talked about margin, I think in class margin. Let's do about 5 pixels on that one too. That's give me a margin of 5 pixels all around the image. Yeah, okay. So it actually brought it down, brought it down, brought it down. So that actually did my margin. Ooh, all right. Or okay, let's take that margin out and let's do it the bootleg way, the easy way out. And to do that, basically, that is just at the end of each your feed caption, just put a line break, and that actually adds some space in between it. Yeah. So after each feed caption, yeah, tag inside of your figure tag, put a break, yeah, break after it. Yeah, that'll fix the issue right there. All right, and watch it doesn't work. It's not as bad. Okay, so that's not access. That's still not what we want. Well, you get the gist. You get the gist of the whole idea of it. All right. Now, in your book, it talks about the meter tag, um, uh, and the meter tag, and a couple of other ones as well. Um, these are brand new HTML5 tags of elements, visual elements, and I know for a fact they do not work in Internet Explorer. And some of them may work in Chrome. Yes, some may work in Chrome, and some may work in Firefox. All right. On the because of this situation, on our on D12, I have in their resources, I have the link to a website called Can I Use. All right. I'm going to switch over to our D12 page real quick. Maximize you out. And I'll go to our resources. Yeah. And I said I have a website called Can I Use. And with this website, it tells you what CSS, that's what CSS and HTML5 elements can be used in certain browsers. Let's say, so for example, if I want to say in your book it says meter, can we? So it's like, can I use the meter tag? And it'll tell you, yeah, here it is. So I type in meter up here at the top. Down below here, it tells me what web browsers support it and what web browsers do not support it. So they said Chrome supports it, yes, and it says Microsoft Edge supports it. Okay, but you can see Internet Explorer does not. Alright, so they said it's good. Okay, so it supports it. So the meter tag just gives you the effect of like a gauge type thing, like say who wants to like the highest sales, type gauge stuff and thing. Yeah, you also have the progress uh, element as well. Let me type that in here, and that just gives you there it is. Okay, so that gives you the base like a little progress bar. So so all these are like graphs that you can actually use and program with HTML5. So I highly recommend using this website if you ever want to trying to use an HTML5 element and doesn't seem to be working out. Yeah, go to this website, caniuse.com. Like I said, the link is in our detailed web page, and it'll help you out a lot. And also, in some cases, it may even give you some workarounds and how you can actually do that effect without, having to use that particular element. Okay, so going back to background images. Yeah. So I talked about you can talked about earlier that you can how you can use a different side. You can why the image sometimes it actually repeat itself over and over again. You can also resize it if you want to. And the next part of your book actually does tell you about how you can manipulate background images. And you can manipulate background images by either telling it not to repeat it, not to repeat the image if it is too small. You can also tell it to repeat it based on if you want to have it going straight across or up and down. Now, a lot of websites, what they'll do is they have a very small image and allow and tell it to repeat and then repeat the little pattern over and over again. Yeah, so in your book, it on page I believe it's 155. Based on this, it takes like one small little piece of one image, one small image, and it has to repeat itself throughout, on top of the or in the background of the whole entire screen. And that's so on ours we used a little a really big image. Let me go back to our page. Yeah. So on ours we used a really big image. However, we can actually use a smaller image, and it will give us the same effect. And we can also resize this image as well. Um, so let's see. Let's actually try to stop it from repeating, and let's also try to resize it. All right. So I'm gonna go to my HTML, and I'm gonna go all the way back up to my style sheet. Yeah. Yeah. So right here we're playing with the background, the body background image, and inside of our body um, style. Yeah, there you go. Our body style. We can actually put in some of these properties. Yeah, completely forgot what I was looking for. Properties that actually allow us to actually manipulate the background image. Let's say background size. Now, from a background size, you can actually do it either by pixels percent. Um, let's see, and like I said, I like doing everything by pixels because it allows you to actually adjust based on it gives you a little bit more flexibility and adjustments. Now, let's see, change the size. Let's change the size 'cause I think this was like I can't remember the actual size of this image. Let's uh, let's try 500 pixels. Let's see. So I want to say it's probably smaller than 500, so it may get those stretch marks that I mentioned earlier, and also change the size of it. And let's see how we'll see how it looks with the size, big with the size change. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna do my reload. Yeah. So you see, yeah. So it actually made the image. You see, it actually made the image much bigger. And you can actually see it is a little bit smaller. That's what I thought, because you can see if you look around the edges right here, you can actually see some of the um, some bold, not boldness, but blurriness coming in, and also you can see it also on the top of it as well. Yes, it's starting to look kind of like gray, grainy type thing, and that's also a sign of if something was, um, if it was an image is starting to stretch. All right, all right. Let's see if we do it real small. Ha 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 ha. Let's do 25 pixels. Ha. Let's try that. I got 25 pixels. I'm gonna do my refresh. Let me save it because I don't think I saved it. Let me save it. Refresh. And you see, it makes it. It just repeats itself. Repeats it over and over again. Now, if I wanted to, so let's say for example, I didn't want it to repeat. I can come back here. That's no problem. I can come back here to my inside of my style, and I say background repeat. So repeat. Does that look wrong? And let's say no repeat. Repeat. All right. And this will not. This code. This line right here will not repeat that image over and over again on the as the background. You'll just see it just once. Let's save it. And because we have it set to 25 pixels, it's going to be a really small image. Yeah, so let's make sure I save it. Yeah, see it is. Yeah, so it's already up at the top. And the reason why we don't have any text is because remember we set our text color to be white. So that's why you have no text. That's why you have no text color or no text on here. All right, so let's say let's set to repeat, but let's tell it to repeat going up and down. Yeah, so because if you go back to your math, the up and down is the y-axis. So you'll tell it to repeat using the y-axis. If you want it to go right to left to right, you'll tell it to go on by the x-axis. So it'd be repeat dash x. All right, so let's see. Ha 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 ha. Let's see how it looks. So save, and this is going to be going top to bottom. Save it. There it is. And you can see, as you can be able to see it. So yeah, and it's just going straight down to the bottom of the page. You may want to actually change it back to white, to black, our text color. All right. So like I said, you want to do it left to right at the top. Let me change it back to black so you can see our text. Let's save. Oh, there you go. Now see us right up here, right at the top. All right, let's see. I'm trying to think of what else we can do with the background here. Yes, you can also, if you want to change where the background is. For example, if you wanted to have it move over to the left or to the right, you can do that as well. Um, I, I think it's background position. I think is what it is, and you can actually tell it what part of your screen you want it to be on. So you can even tell you want to be the top right, middle, top, mid, right, middle, or so forth. Position, and let's say because we're going to top. Let's go. Let's do top. Let's do top right. Yeah, just the two words. So we're gonna have it set to the top on the right. Because we're repeating it, because we are repeating it, you may not see a difference. Let me close you down so I can get my. There you go. The stars are getting everything is switching over to different sides. The sides of the screen there. Yeah, you would, and that's what I thought. I don't think you really feel a difference. But if you told it to stop repeating, so we'll come back up to repeat and say no repeat, you can actually see the image actually move to the top right location. Yeah, there it is. It's right there. So you can change the way it actually moves. It's a location on it. So just in case you know, keep that in mind if you want to actually give it that kind of like a little border effect type thing, you can do that as well. All right. On page 158, one thing I want to point out is image maps. You can. That's probably the best example of how what image maps are is looking at a picture or of the United States, and you'll have one big picture of the United States, and you'll be able to click on certain parts of the map on each state, and you'll get sent to a website based on that state. And based on this image map is just a one big image that certain parts of that image have been, I don't want to say cut out, but they have been um, selected. That's probably a better word. Or selected to go with a uh, hyperlink. Yeah, so they'd be a hyperlink. So like I was dealing with the United States map, you will have the state a picture of the state of South Carolina. That that one part, that one uh, shape inside that image, that shape of South Carolina was selected to go with a website that leads you to the state of South Carolina or something about the state of South Carolina. So that's what an image map is. You don't see them used very often anymore, but you do see them used. You do see them used on still they're still commonly used on, and you'll see them around. Right. A favorite icon. I know I think I mentioned this. I don't know if I mentioned this in class or not, but you'll see on the browsers where if you look on the tab, they have like a little image in the upper right hand corner or upper left hand corner. That's what they call a favorite icon. And the whole process came about is back in the day when they first came with Internet Explorer and they first came up with the concepts of favorites. Um, they gave you the ability to have an icon so you can recognize where that particular website came from or what the website it was associated with. So it will gave you this. It will show you a icon or this favorite icon right next to the name of the web page that you saved, so you can make it easier to identify where that page came from. And you can make these. You can make these. It has to. You have to. You can make it out of any image, but the image has to be converted to a the dot ICO file format in order for it to use it, or the icon format in order for it to be used. Um, let's see. I'm looking through the chat right now, making sure I don't miss anything. Uh, yeah, and if you when you're dealing with the graphics and getting graphics from a certain location, you have certain locations online, especially, you have to think about copyright issues. So if you are going to take an image from online, make sure you copyright or make sure you actually give the person credit for it. Yeah, so on these images here that I got all of these images from online, but because I'm not using it for the public, I did not give the person credit. But if you're going to use a publicly a have a image that's going to be made public, make sure you get permission from the user or from the website you're getting it from, and also as well as credit them, credit saying, okay, I got this image from so and so, so they won't come back and say, wait a minute, you cheated, you got our stuff or whatever. Perfect example. is a couple of years ago. Um, there was on Facebook, 'cause, on Facebook you can actually go to Google and you can see images of people based from that Facebook. So this one company, they wanted to make a poster, and so they went on Google, did a Google search for an image for their image. Lo and behold, come to find out it was a image from Facebook of a man and his family. So they just say, okay, that's a perfect image. That's exactly what we're looking for. So they actually put it on their poster, on a public poster, and actually used it. And a couple of months later, the family realized, wait a minute, what is our picture doing on that poster? And so they had to, it was a big, I think a law case sued them, a big law case, and saying don't use our image, da da da. So make sure that when you actually do go to get use an image on from online, make sure you actually get give the person credit and get permission to use it. Yeah. So as I'm looking through the chapter where I'm going through this, I want to make sure I don't leave anything out. Um, yeah, I'm trying to see. Yeah, so dealing with the on starting on page was it 170, 166. Yeah, we did 166. Um, you talk about the background size, and also it's one of the things was I mentioned that CSS3 and HTML5 they gave us the ability to do so many things without having to go through all the coding to actually get it done. And one of the things, yeah, probably one of the best things they came up with, in my opinion, is the rounded corners. So you basically are taking a border and applying a radius to it and making it look like a circle. So now you have these rounded um, edges on your documents. You can also use to have occupancy, and that allows you to make put a on a background. You can actually do like it's kind of I say grayed out type thing, or it's very light, so you won't be able to see it. Um, and that's we could have actually add that. We might be able to, yeah, we can actually add that at on ours, so we can actually you know how we when we repeated our um, yeah our background. I'm gonna actually take those two out. Take those two out. And if I want to, and you see how it actually covered up the whole entire page, and sometimes it actually made it real hard for us to look at to see the text. Let me change that back, my text color back to white. Right. Let me save. There it is. Okay, yeah. So you see how it kind of made it kind of hard to read. Well, you can actually add background occupancy, and it'll actually fade out. It gives it a little faded out look for the background, so it makes it easier to read the text on the page. See, we can actually do that. Do that effect right now. I think it's just occupancy, I believe. Ooh, I could spell it. Occupancy, and I believe this is done in tenths, if I remember correctly. So you have to do it. So you can't do it by pixels. You have to do it by like point five, point six, and it goes all the way up to one. And I believe one is, I think, absolutely invisible. So occupancy is, let's say 0.5, point 0.5, and just close it out. Do a save. So I have some occupancy to point 0.5. Save, and it should give the effect that the background image is kind of faded out. Yeah, you kind of see, ooh, see, and see like look, it's kind of faded out because I did add the occupancy on it, and because I added it to the body, it actually made the whole everything inside the body, it made it look like it was faded out. So that's what occupancy does. And I do believe there is an occupancy, I think, for background. Hmm. I don't think there's a background occupancy. I don't think it is. Yeah, I'm just playing around on right now. I don't think it is. I don't think that's right. I don't think there's one. We'll see if something picks up. No, it didn't do anything. It just took it back. Yeah. But I think there is a way to do it. You just have to manipulate it to do what you want it to do. Right. You can also, the rest of chapter 4 talks about different ways you can apply colors. So I mentioned you can actually use hexadecimal to apply colors. You can also use hexadecimal, the name of the color. You can also use RGB color coding, and also you can also use something that they added with CSS3. You can use HSLI or LA color coding to actually give you a lot more flexibility with your colors and with your shades and so forth. So it's a lot of information that they actually gave us to make it better, to make more visual effects with using CSS. Like I said, it just opened up the ability for a web developer and web designer so much. The gave us the ability to do so much stuff, so much visually do so much stuff without having to code a half a page to do what we want to do. All right, so that was page chapter 4. Chapter 4 quiz is up now. Go ahead and take a look at it. All of the images that I used, as well as this code that I used today, they are up on D2L. Um, so you can go and take a look and have the files that we looked at. You also have homework due. Remember that your homework is due. I think believe it's on chapter. I want to say 89 or page 89 in the book. I think. Yeah, you're talking about your favorite topic yourself, so it shouldn't be too hard to do. Or you can't shoot me able to. You should be able to find all the information you need for that one. But if you have any questions, let me know. See me in class. Come by my office during my office hours, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.